Do you want a little bit of a cheat code for success? Do you want to know a little tip, a little strategy where you can become almost unstoppable on whatever goal it is that you're trying to pursue in your life? Listen, my name is Jackie from Georgia. I'm a master trainer here with Destiny Global. We bring you these success tips every other week, absolutely free of charge here on the Destiny Global Facebook page. If you like the success tip, do me a favor, smash the like button, share this post. Hopefully it will help and encourage somebody else. All right. So recently I was coaching with a client and she talked about how she had this goal to be able to make more money. And she had started this small business online and it was actually working for her. This new venture was starting to work for her and she was starting to make some money. But then something happened. All of a sudden, she said people in her family started asking her, like, why do you want to make more money? Like, are you greedy? And all of a sudden she was worried about the pastor at a church not supporting her new vision, her new endeavor. And it was really kind of causing all sorts of mental and emotional turmoil. And I told her, I said, well, what do you want? I mean, this is what everybody else wants, but what do you want? And that led into a conversation. And I want to share with you, cut to the chase and just share with you kind of the cheat code that I gave her. Listen, if you've ever tried to accomplish something in your life, and you tried to maybe grow your income or really go for that next higher job promotion or start that business, whatever it is you're trying to do, if you've ever tried to do something you thought, if I am successful at this, it's going to transform my life for the positive. If you've ever done that, you've come against some sort of opposition. If you've ever tried to make some sort of positive, radical change in your life, maybe you had to relocate, start a new career, whatever it is, when you made up your mind to accomplish the goal, once you started going after the goal, you ran into some sort of opposition. And I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked a young woman who told me about her opposition. And I'm going to ask you, what do you say to yourself when you face that opposition? Meaning, most people end up getting frustrated with themselves, discouraged with themselves. They tend to beat themselves up. I'll give you another example. Many years ago when I started my very first business, I was working from home online and I was having to call clients over the telephone. And listen, even when clients request you give them a call, sometimes when you call, they weren't there, they weren't ready, they weren't available for the phone call. And although I met a lot of great clients and I ended up making a lot of money by building that business online and over the phone, I'll never regret doing it. But can I tell you that every day wasn't a lot of fun? Sometimes clients would get upset with you. People would be mad. People were upset that you call, even though they gave you the appointment and the time they told you to call them. And I saw people that I worked with and even trained in that business. And I would see people end up saying, I can't do this. It's not for me. They would get frustrated. They would quit. They would miss appointments they were supposed to make. And I would start looking at, why are people sabotaging themselves with these bad habits? And I realized, because I was struggling with the same thing. And that's all of a sudden you get on the phone, things don't go well. You think, why am I doing this? Maybe I'm not supposed to do this. Maybe I can't do this. And I was like, wait a minute. But what's on the other side of I can't? It's I fail. And I had to ask myself, do you really want to fail? And I would have this internal dialogue and it was like, no, I'm not going to fail. I'm going to succeed. And I used to ask myself, why are you going to succeed? And this is a whole internal self-talk. And I'm going to succeed because this is who I am. This is what I'm going to accomplish. This is where I want to be. This is why I have to succeed. This is what I have to do. And so I want to ask you, what is your internal dialogue? What are you saying to yourself? You see, in the example I gave you with our previous client, she was listening to what her mom was saying, what her pastor was saying, what her friends were saying. And I asked her, what do you want? And I'm asking you now, what do you want? What is the goal that you're trying to achieve that seems difficult or impossible? And what do you say when you're by yourself whenever you hit resistance? Do you beat yourself up and say, oh, you should know better, oh, you should have done better, oh, you knew, you can't do this, or you make the wrong decisions? Do you blame yourself? Do you beat yourself up? I see this in the fitness space. Someone wants to lose weight and all of a sudden, they miss their workout time. And, they make an excuse. And then when they get done making the excuse, they beat themselves up for missing the workout. And it's like, you knew better. You should have done it. You're so stupid. Why didn't you, maybe they don't call themselves stupid. Maybe they do. I'm going to ask you, what is your internal dialogue? Because the way you become unstoppable is you listen to the voice that matters the most. It's the voice inside of you. It's the voice inside of you that encourages you. You have to be able to encourage yourself on the way to success. You have to recognize, listen, you have to recognize that of course you make mistakes, but mistakes are part of the process. Mistakes are part of improving. Recognizing that you make mistakes is a chance for you to get better. It's not, you don't make mistakes because you're bad. You make mistakes because you're learning, because you're growing. Oh, I need to lose weight and I ate the donuts. I knew I shouldn't have ate the donuts. No, it wasn't because you didn't know. It's because you had a momentary weakness. It's because you're having to confront a new level of self-discipline. You're practicing that new self-discipline skill. The only way you get good at something is being able to practice it. Anything that you practice, you're not perfect at. Do you see how this is all about reframing? I do this to myself all the time. I want you to know that when I was building that business in the beginning, that business went on to generate me ended up generating over $100 million, made millions of dollars for myself. That business, when I would have days, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, when I was succeeding as, I had international success. And there were still days that I would have bad days. And I would talk to myself and I would encourage myself, Jack, you got this. It's okay. Listen, you had 7 appointments today and none of your appointments showed up. It's okay. It wasn't your fault. Could you have done something better to help those appointments show up? Maybe. Let's evaluate that and let's try to do better. You got this. It could have just been an off day. This bad day doesn't define you. This bad day, everybody who's successful has bad days. This is just part of one of your success days. I literally would do that. Even now, when I work out and I have, I work out in the morning time, and some mornings I don't want to work out. And I feel myself like, I don't want to do this. And then I immediately shifted. I get to do this. I can do this. I'm able to do this. I'm thankful that I can do this. Yes, it's hard because I'm working for change. I'm working for change because I have a vision of who I'm going to become, the fitness I'm going to have, the physique that I'm going to have, the ability that I'm going to have, the flexibility that I'm going to have as I continue to get older. That's who I'm becoming, and this is a part of that. I'm literally encouraging myself. But what I find is so many people beat themselves up. It's Diamond Kraken, who's a coach with Destiny Global. I want to give her credit because I heard her say something. I heard her husband say that she says this, and she says, you will never bully your way to success. Did you hear that? You will never be able to bully your way to success. You can never condemn your way to success. You can never over-critique your way to success. Self-critique doesn't cut it. Being able to be someone who condemns other people doesn't foster good relationships, and it doesn't help them succeed. You know what? It doesn't foster a good, healthy relationship with yourself, and it doesn't help you succeed either. The superpower is listen to the voice that should be encouraging you when no other voice is encouraging you. That is the voice within you. The voice who has goals and dreams. The voice who most identifies with those goals and dreams. The voice who had the ability to have the inspiration to want to have success in the first place. Your voice. The reason you even decided to go for the promotion or start the business or go for that new career change, the only reason you decided to do it is because you had faith and belief that you could. Just because you hit resistance doesn't mean you failed. Just because you hit resistance, it means you're learning. And learning is good. Listen, if you want to have more success in life and you want to grow your income so that you can make more money, do more money, so you can make more, keep more, be able to do more, achieve more, and all the mores, join us at First Steps to Success. You don't want to miss it. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're going to be there. I'm going to be there. Ms. Carmen Quinn's going to be there. Dr. April Brown's going to be there. Mr. Ken Brown, the CEO, is going to be there. He has an incredible story himself. Dr. April Brown herself, when you hear what she's accomplished and what she's doing and how she's helping people, you're getting all weekend, 3 days, we're going to be pouring into helping you have the success that you want, the success that you deserve. Listen, if you've ever you felt like you needed more people in your corner, we're going to be in your corner. But it's not just us. You're going to meet some attendees, a community of people who are together working to accomplish goals to improve themselves. And they're going to be encouraging you, believing in you. You're going to be inspired as you hear, dads, man with 8 kids, struggles as an engineer, becomes a multimillionaire because of first steps to success. That's his story. You're going to hear about single moms rising up. You're going to hear about Sarah who showed up at an event in a small rural town wanting to start a business that she thought there's no way her town could support it. She comes through a live training event. She ends up going home, going to work. 1 year later, she earns over $100,000. Her second year, she does $300,000. Her and her husband today live an incredible life. They just had another child because of these live training events. You want to be inspired? You want to be encouraged? You want to gain skill sets that can allow you to transform your life? Join us at First Steps to Success. But also remember, whether we see you there or not, the superpower that you can have is become the encourager to yourself. And if you can learn to encourage yourself, you'll encourage others. And that's going to do extraordinary things in your life when you become an incredible encourager of others. But it starts with encouraging yourself from within. Have a great day, and God bless.